Hymn of the Pearl. The Hymn of the Pearl expresses the growth of consciousness. It represents a view of the living condition. It expresses that one is a sublime spark, a pearl lost in a world ego, the oyster shell of fabrication, illusion, and forgetfulness of one's truth origin, mother, matter. The unconscious state or lack of awareness is the mental construct that is separated or fallen from the higher states of consciousness into an ego delusion of being a body. The awakened state, or to be conscious, woke, one begins a search of a treasure, a pearl, which symbolizes the wisdom one shall attain during one's living experience. The Hymn of the Pearl is considered a poetic masterpiece, as is read as a compressed heroic epic in the style of Mahabharata and Ramayana. The Hymn of the Pearl is the song of the soul. The purpose of this hymn was for inculcating the doctrine of the Gnostics, the relinking of inner truth. In Indian terms, it is yoga, union with truth. In the Gospel of Thomas recites the hymn to his fellow sufferers in an Indian prison. This is an ironic yet appropriate frame narrative, since the hymn represents the world ego itself as a prison. It also serves as an emphasis of the essentially oral character of the hymn as a performance piece, like Bhagavad Gita. This hymn is recited in the first person by the hero prince, whose parents, the King of Kings and the Queen of the East, is sent from Parthia to retrieve a pearl from the abode of the serpent in the sea near Egypt.
There is electromagnetic energy in that pyramid between 200
The profound symbolism of the pearl as soul, the sublime spark, is from the abode of Memphis, the Milky Way, in the sea near Egypt. The Nile, or Mississippi River, is the reflection of the Milky Way. The prince has been equipped for the long journey with two guides, Andromeda and Aphrodite, and treasures from Ganta, Kushan, and India, which represent the three states of consciousness, subconscious, and superconsciousness. Just like in the story of Joseph's coat of many colors, this prince takes off his splendid robe and travels down through places connected by Jews and Christians with the origins of idolatry. In the hymn, the demons are Iranian. The companions depart as the prince settles near the serpent inn. Here he meets and befriends a compatriot freeman to whom he explains his mission. The friend represents the inner teacher and guide. The prince is warned to disguise himself and to shun the ways of the Egyptians, the fabrication, the artificial value of temporary things. Although the prince falls victim of the treachery of the local people, the world or ego, who perceives him as a stranger, he eats their food, false education, and forgets his mission and falls asleep. Apprised by his peril, his celestial parents convene a council. They send a letter which travels in the shape of an eagle to awaken him and remind him of his identity and mission. This is a beautiful metaphor for paper doll kite, as a kite is a falcon, a guide bird, and paper doll is a cutout of substance. The prince accomplishes the mission and returns in order that his name be read in the book of heroes, Revelation. He should put on his robe and become a joint heir with his brother. The sublime spark within the physical instrument. The prince arises and remembers and goes forth. But he does not fight the serpent as a traditional epic hero might. Rather, he casts a spell which puts the serpent to sleep, takes the pearl home while passing through Gorgon on the way, just like Perseus and another hero, Hercules, of the golden apple motif. The prince puts on his marvelous robe, perfectly tailored to his figure and richly adorned with the image of the King of Kings, which moves, shimmers, and utter gnosis. Upon gaining his title of heir apparent, an office actually attested at Edessa, he presents the pearl to his father. This song is an allegory of the degraded state of consciousness, held unconscious, asleep in the ego prison, like and deceptive world one must escape from, i.e. the lower mind. One had to regain the happiness of one's true and luminous self in this alien dream world with the help of hard-won esoteric inner knowledge, gnosis. In the hymn of the pearl, this world of dualism, good versus evil, is represented by the ego. Persia, now Iran, represents the inner realm, simply called the East, with Egypt, the outer realm, as a place of darkness, where it is, for example, of Alexander the Accursed. In the mystical philosophy, going to East represents going to the higher states of consciousness, alien to the earth, the lower mind, and forgetful of one's real home. One must find the pearl, the soul, and make a return journey to the greater light. Serious as the road that had been removed in order to begin the journey to retrieve the pearl. While the hymn of the pearl is intrinsically social and affirmative of the human institution, The hymn is intensely individual, and the prince's quest has at its aim not earthly life, lower mind, but departure from it, to return to soul, super consciousness. Hidden wisdom radiance, eyes, remove the disguise, transcendence, elegance, cut through resistance, spontaneous presence, which fulfilling resident. Our champion, perfection, hidden wisdom, radiance, removing the disguise, transcendent, elegant, cut through resistance, spontaneous presence, which fulfilling resident. It's all about antimatter, innocence, intelligence of infinity. She freed the mind, and now in her presence, breakthrough to the healed elevation. Doctrine, perfection, healing, wisdom, radiance, of love, remove the sky, transcendence, elegance, cut through resistance, spontaneous presence, which fulfilling resident. Without charging, perfection, hidden wisdom, radiance of light, remove the disguise.